This painting exemplifies the 19th century European male gaze. It is pure fantasy.
The Sultan requires the ledger from the previous month.
I have it here. We must deliver it immediately. The appointment of the new judge for Diyarbakir is approved. Ensure the firman is dispatched before noon.
Yes, Sultana.
The seal confirms its authenticity. This decree details the Sultan's extensive endowments.
Give it to me. Let's see what news this brings. Look how quickly she breaks the seal. It must be urgent news from the Sultan himself.
These images were fabrications. 19th century European artists created these harem scenes.
If the stability fails in the eastern provinces, we lose the trade route.
We must send reinforcements immediately, regardless of the cost.
We must recommend the loyal commander to the Grand Vizier at once.
I shall see to the sealing personally, Sultan.
Notice how the layout centers on the Valide Sultan's quarters, with private access to the Sultan and
This correspondence is the Emperor's voice. Handle it with reverence. Remember, true power lies
The sheer fantasy here, claiming the populace are dog-headed creatures, is demonstrably false when compared to the meticulous imperial registers.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la.
The Ambassador Extraordinary requests the hand of Her Imperial Highness the Princess.
no on. The Valide Sultans and imperial consorts used sophisticated correspondence networks to influence foreign policy and
A message for the Valide Sultan, urgently.
It is noted. You may go.
Harem was not fantasy, but political nerve center where women ensured dynastic survival through intelligence, patronage, and strategic alliances. The Valide Sultan's authority is clear. Look closely at the jeweled headdress and this small keyring symbolizing her power over the treasury.
These petitions confirm the Pasha's disloyalty in the East. We must act decisively.
Indeed. The court must see that we are united on this.
They approved the new tariffs on the silk trade this morning. This changes everything for the factions. We must respond quickly.
Several. This imperial decree, issued jointly by the Sultan and the Valide Sultan, establishes a new charitable foundation.
A gift from the Venetian ambassador, Your Highness.
He seeks favorable trade routes. Indeed. We shall grant him an audience.
These coins, bearing the name of the Valide Sultan, signify the public acknowledgement of role in
To the Grand Vizier, appoint a new governor in the province, one whose loyalty to my faction is absolute.
Ensure the incense is of the purest quality.
Do you think the Sultan will attend the ceremony tonight?
With the ambassador arriving, he must.
Understanding harem requires setting aside Orientalist fantasies and recognizing it as political institution.
The candidate from the Alavi faction offers significant trade routes, Your Highness.
But their loyalty is questionable.
A sealed message from the Valide Sultan.
We shall deliver it immediately. You are dismissed.
The influence of the harem cannot be overstated. Through strategic marriages, they secured chef of immense. The next chapters will explore specific women, including Hurrem, Kösem, and Turhan, and how they wielded. Join me as we journey into the lives of the most powerful Ottoman harem women, starting with Hurrem Sultan, who transformed the role forever.
How a Ruthenian concubine rose to become the first legal wife of a sultan and transformed harem power dynamics forever.
The Venetians seek passage, yet their map omit the eastern routes. A poem is balanced only when all
Hurrem wrote letters to European monarchs, including Polish king and Ottoman officials, making her diplomatic actor in her own right.
I have reviewed these petitions. Tell the treasurer that funds for the Yeni Mosque complex are to be released by tomorrow.
This complex will bear my name for centuries. Ensure the kitchens are large enough.
Yes, Sultana. The foundation is strong.
Hurrem's foundation was truly unprecedented in scale for a woman at the time. This signaled her quasi-sovereign status within the empire.
This timeline highlights the brutal reality of the succession crisis. The struggle between Hurrem's sons and
This council must decide the successor now!
We must consider the interests of the Sultana.
My lady, Prince Mustafa is gaining support among the Janissaries. We must prepare a counter-move immediately.
The vizier suggests spreading rumors among the Janissaries.
Excellent. Ensure his allies are reassigned. We must isolate him before the Sultan returns.
Hurrem's role in the elimination of Mustafa was politically necessary for her son's survival, but morally complex.
It grieves me too, but the state demands such sacrifices for its survival. You are the protector of the dynasty.
Suleiman's marriage to Hurrem, a slave concubine, broke centuries of treatise of Ottoman tradition.
O Allah, accept this pious foundation from the virtuous Haseki Hurrem Sultan.
Through these extensive charitable foundations, Hurrem Sultan solidified her legacy, translating immense patronage.
In this remarkable letter to Sigismund II, Hurrem Sultan skillfully negotiates the release of high prize.
I believe we should appoint Mehmet Pasha to Cairo. It secures the trade routes.
He is loyal, Sultana. A sound decision.
Hurrem transformed the harem from a household of concubines into a political institution where the Haseki Sultan could wield quasi-sovereign power. Hurrem Sultan, who would surpass even Hurrem in political power, ruling as regent during multiple sultans' reigns. A favored one still respects the hierarchy.
So my steps must always follow yours, Khalfa.
Until you bear the Sultan a son.
The factions are growing bolder, Your Majesty. To grant the position to Pasha would signal weakness to the others. We must maintain the balance.
Kösem bore multiple sons to Ahmed I, positioning herself as mother of future sultans and the most powerful role in harem.
I will not let my sons fall victim to the games of succession. They are the future of this empire.
The levies from Egypt must be redirected to the treasury immediately.
It shall be done as you command, my Sultan.
Kösem ruled as regent during the reigns of two sons, Murad IV and Ibrahim, and grandson Mehmed IV.
The treasury is depleted, yet the campaign in Persia must continue. We will levy the extraordinary war tax immediately.
By tapping into her private treasury, Kösem paid the Janissaries when the state could not, ensuring their loyalty and her own power.
The whispers in the divan grow louder. We cannot wait. What of the treasury funds you promised the Kapu Agas? They will be delivered tonight.
Kösem's power eventually threatened the new regime, leading to her assassination in 1651, a violent end to an extraordinary political career.
Hurrem and Kösem redefined the harem as a center of political power, but their influence also gets. This new section introduces Turhan Sultan, mother of Mehmed IV. She emerged victorious from the power struggle.
The Janissaries are restless, Sultana.
They will obey me, or they will follow Kösem into the grave.
My son is Khan.
The governor of Syria must be replaced by our loyalist, Kazım Pasha. See that it is done swiftly.
It shall be done.
Turhan's victory marked generational shift, with younger regents using violence to secure power, but also stabilizing state after years of factional chaos.
Your father ruled with strength, Mehmed. You must learn to do the same.
Yes, Mother. I understand my duty.
The central dome will be the largest in the empire, Your Highness, a testament to your enduring piety.
Turhan's extensive vakif, encompassing mosques, schools, fountains, and markets, solidified.
Her Highness insists on the return of the Morea territories. Only then can we discuss peace.
Excellency, we understand.
These European archives document Turhan's diplomatic interventions, clearly proving her active role in foreign policy.
From Turhan, the silk must be moved tonight.
Tell no one outside the ST. Be quick.
By imperial command of Hurrem Sultan, these fiscal reforms are to be implemented immediately to stabilize the treasury.
Harem women controlled vast private wealth, including land, commercial properties, and slaves, giving them independent economic power beyond the Sultan's treasury. This alliance with the eastern tribes is crucial, despite the cost.
Indeed. The Grand Signior requires stability, and this marriage secures it.
Allocate the charitable funds as designated. Ensure the Istanbul soup kitchens receive their full allotment by Friday.
The Valide Sultan's treasury was vast, funding everything from court salaries to military supplies during crises. The accuracy of the ledgers is paramount to the stability of the imperial household. The harem was an elite political academy for women, producing administrators, diplomats, and regents.
The frontier army is broken. Summon the Imperial Council immediately. We must secure the borders.
What is the meaning of this, Sultanım?
We must raise emergency funds, redeploy the troops, and appoint a new commander.
Yes, Sultana. It shall be done.
These dispatches confirmed Turhan utilized the harem treasury during the fiscal crisis, personally funding the campaigns.
To maintain stability, we must balance the viziers and the military. My regency is necessary for now. I see the wisdom in your words, Mother.
We ask you to bless the founder of this mosque, our patron Hurrem Sultan.
Hanizdas. The Yenichami's grandeur and its symbolic placement on the Golden Horn waterfront were crucial.
We must ensure the grain shipments reach the capital on time, despite the recent unrest.
It shall be done as you command, Valide Sultan.
Turhan's death in 1683 marked the end of the Great Regency era, but her foundations and precedents continue. Hurrem, Kösem, and Turhan utilized different strategies through motherhood, patronage, or direct governance. At the top is the Valide Sultan, followed by the Haseki Sultans, senior Kalfa, administrators.
The archives reveal that harem women received salaries, owned property, and could bequeath their wealth.
The Valide Sultan's orders.
It is done.
Received. Elite harem women were highly literate in multiple languages, including Ottoman Turkish, Persian, and Arabic.
Gently now, follow the curve of the scene. Let the ink flow smoothly across the page.
My voice echoes through these gilded halls, a whisper turned to verse, reaching beyond these walls.
That was truly beautiful, Layla. Yes, let us savor this peace before the dawn breaks. Cataloging the collective impact of the mosques, hospitals, schools, bridges, and fountains built by the harem women across centuries.
Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.
Alif ba ta. Repeat after.
Harem women exercised power through regency, patronage, diplomacy, and economic control. But the system also harem women. Harem women's power depended on sophisticated networks of intermediaries, including chief
sealed orders from the Valide Sultan for the Grand Vizier. Deliver them immediately.
As commanded.
Kizlar Agassi, chief black eunuch, was one of the most powerful officials in the empire, controlling access to the Sultan.
Her Highness suggests these appointments for the Syrian provinces.
Your words are noted, my lord. They shall be implemented immediately.
While the white eunuchs served the Sultan and the outer palace, the black eunuchs commanded the harem.
50,000 gold pieces for the troops, managed through these channels. Send the firman with the fastest rider.
Yes, Effendi.
Deliver this to the Grand Vizier. The route through the lower gardens is clear, but be swift and unseen. Understood, Matron. Discretion is assured. Go now.
The harem women maintain their own sophisticated intelligence networks, utilizing spies within the vizier's households.
I overheard them in the Vizier's house. They spoke of a plot against the shipments, Your Highness. We must secure the routes immediately.
Information was the harem's greatest asset, with knowledge of court factions, provincial rebellions, and foreign threats, allowing preemptive political action.
The vizier is dismissed. Replace him with Said Pasha by noon. This coup ends now. Seal the order.
By the Sultan's decree, your service is concluded. You are stripped of your rank and banished from the council.
The archives show that dismissals were initiated by the harem, documented through coded language, such as, upon the wish of the exalted mother.
Remember why we are here.
The uncertainty of succession created competing factions based on maternal lineages, leading to systemic instability within the court.
Once my son ascends the throne, the current structure will be displaced.
You will be richly rewarded.
We must control access to the Sultan. Through strategic marriages and loyalist appointments, we neutralize her influence.
These weren't mere disagreements. The struggle for power in the harem repeatedly turned.
Stay vigilant, brother. We cannot afford any mistakes tonight.
The Sultan's mother must be protected.
Surely. The harem was a paradox. While designed for protection, the multiple gates and eunuch guards ensured absolute...
Right to the Shah. The silks are beautiful, but his border raids must cease. To the French ambassador, convey my regards and this counter-proposal. The correspondence confirms it. European diplomats recognize these women as de facto rulers.
This embroidery will be admired in the French court.
We must ensure the craftsmanship is flawless.
The craftsmanship here, particularly the gold embroidery and these illuminated manuscripts.
The nightingale sings of your beauty, the rose blush.
Harem women were educated in classical Ottoman culture, including Persian and Arabic poetry. Harem women orchestrated strategic kinship politics, arranging marriages that forged crucial alliances with viziers.
You are the ambassador of the dynasty, and our eyes and ears in his court. You must inform us of everything.
These dowry inventories reveal massive wealth, including properties, slaves, and liquid assets.
The provincial unrest is spreading, and the governor's loyalty is clearly wavering.
We must recall him to Istanbul immediately.
The harem women built vast networks through married princesses and agents. Their influence extended across the empire.
The Sultan's ear is won by patience, my dear, and a keen understanding of the court's whispers.
I will remember.
Harem's political power was based on sophisticated systems, including information networks, intermediaries, patronage.
Ya Rabbi, bana güç ve hidayet ver.
While harem women built powerful institutions, they also faced increasing challenges, including
The vakif, or charitable endowment, was crucial for political power. Harem women built mosques, hospitals.
The dome must be higher, Mimar Effendi, to inspire awe. And the hospital requires more natural light.
These ledgers reveal that the harem women didn't just spend money. They meticulously managed complex construction budgets.
The scholars agree, Your Highness. This waqf for the orphans and the sick
aligns correctly with the principles of our faith.
Islamic law allowed and encouraged women's charitable endowments, giving women a religiously legitimate avenue for
Scrolls, and the revenues from the silk market and the Cairo bazaar shall be allocated for its perpetual upkeep.
This section right here details the precise legal framework, establishing the revenues and appointing the administrators.
We thank the most generous Valide Sultan. May Allah bless her works. This sacred...
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa...
The fever has subsided, but the throat remains inflamed. Give him the licorice root decoction twice a day. This is the core principle of qiyas, or analogical reasoning. The application of analogy requires careful consideration of the text.
Here is your meal for today.
Thank you so much. May you be blessed for your generosity.
By quantifying their impact, we see the true extent of their power. Thousands fed daily, hundreds...
The monthly reports show we have served over 10,000 meals.
The revenues are sufficient, and the student enrollments.
The foundations, funded by revenues from vast commercial properties and agricultural lands, showcase
50 kurus for the silk.
50. I'll give you a third 5.
Come look at these jewels, finest craftsmanship.
The water is especially cold today.
Yes, thanks to the generosity of the Valide.
These Istanbul fountains stand as public monuments, crediting the piety and authority of the harem women who built them, visible daily to thousands.
The ambassador requests your intervention. He offers favorable trade terms in exchange for the prisoners or an audience with the Sultan.
The ambassadors acknowledged the decisive role in Ottoman diplomacy and the necessity of securing their favor. Mapping extensive correspondence networks, including letters to European courts, provincial governors, and foreign queens.
To the governor of Cairo, regarding the silk shipment, the Sultanate requires the immediate release of the grain stores.
Elite harem women often wrote their own letters rather than dictating, demonstrating high education and personal agency.
By the authority of the Valide Sultan, we must act, increase the military readiness, and ensure the taxes are collected without delay.
The influence of the harem extended deep into provincial governance. They recommended governors, monitored tax. The scale is remarkable. The harem treasury controlled revenues equal to entire provinces, making...
The Janissaries demand their salaries, Your Highness. We must authorize the payment immediately.
Do it. We can...
Your salary, secured by the Valide Sultan.
We thank the Sultan and the Harem for their patronage.
These pledges are satisfactory. Inform the commanders the prince expects their full support.
It is done, Your Highness. The alliance is secure.
True power is not merely inherited. It is cultivated through patronage and careful diplomacy.
And
Harem women's power rested on a tripod of patronage, including mosques and charity, communication...
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
While harem women built impressive power through patronage and diplomacy, the system was never secure and challenging.
Despite their achievements, harem women faced constant challenges, military rebellions and economic crises.
The Janissary Corps periodically rebelled against sultans and regents, sometimes targeting harem women they saw as...
These officials appointed through harem influence must be dismissed.
Dismiss them now!
Dismiss them! The Janissaries are at the gates. They demand your immediate response.
We must suppress them now before it spreads.
As the timeline shows, the consequences were severe. Revolts led to the deposition.
Let it be done. The vizier must step down.
As you command, Sultanum. A wise strategic retreat.
By the Sultan's decree, your demands are met. The council is dismissed. Long live the Sultan! Power to the Janissaries!
Harem women's power, while real, was always contingent, depending on Sultan's favor, military loyalty, which could be purchased, but... The fundamental constraint that seclusion meant harem women could never appear publicly, command armies directly.
The levy on the eastern provinces is insufficient.
We cannot burden the people further. The harvest was poor. We must secure the trade routes first.
The presence of women in matters of governance leads to corruption and chaos. Their interference violates the proper order of society.
The scholars say your involvement in state affairs is inappropriate for a woman.
My actions serve only the dynasty's interests. Harem women justified power through motherhood, piety, and service to dynasty, framing political action as maternal duty.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin.
Ameen. Ya Allah, bless this place.
Harem women's power was most vulnerable during succession crises, when sultans died or were deposed.
The Sultan is dead! Mobilize the household!
We must secure Prince Murad's chambers now!
Hurry, they are closing the gates.
They have already opened the gates for the new Sultan's mother.
We are completely alone now. We must negotiate.
By imperial decree, we proclaim Mehmed Khan the new sovereign.
Long live the Sultan!
These records detail the tragic fates of deposed harem women. Their exile, forced retirement, and in some cases...
The assassination of Hurrem Sultan in 1651, strangled in the harem by rival eunuchs.
Assassination shocked empire, but demonstrated even most powerful harem woman could be killed when she became threat to new regime with no position permanently secure.
By my will, you are the new Grand Vizier. Serve the dynasty faithfully.
Your every command is absolute, Sultanum.
This cyclical pattern shows powerful Valide Sultans emerging during weak reigns. The economic crises driven by military defeats and rampant currency debasement severely constrain the harem's power.
The revenues have declined significantly due to the recent defeats. We cannot pay the Janissaries, Your Highness. The treasury is nearly empty.
Every choice weakens us.
If we delay the mosque, we lose favor with the ulema.
And if we do not pay the troops, we face...
As the Ottoman Empire declined militarily and economically in the 18th and 19th centuries, harem women's political
governance. These reforms centralized power within the new bureaucratic ministries, effectively reducing the Sultan's authority.
The 19th century accounts consistently highlight a significant shift, where harem women once wielded considerable...
The Ottoman Empire ended in 1922, the Sultanate abolished. The imperial family...
The harem, once the secluded domain of the sultans, now stands silent, a testament to a powerful...
Harem women built real power but faced constant challenges from military force, succession instability.
Understanding both power and limits is crucial, and the next chapter will explore the lasting legacy of harem women.
Beyond the political struggles, these women face profound personal costs. Separation from their families.
My dearest mother, every day here is a year.
Harem women's power ultimately derived from sons, but this created tragic conflicts when sons didn't.
I regret to inform you, Your Highness, Prince Abdullah has been executed by the Sultan's order.
No, my son! Not my son!
As the law states, it is proper for him to kill his brothers. This structural violence,
His fate is not for us to decide. We can only offer comfort and these remedies, then trust in Allah.
The grief in my heart will not be contained.
May Allah have mercy on the child.
Be strong, we are grieving together.
Constant surveillance, factional intrigue, and the fear of displacement created chronic stress and mental health challenges for the women.
Despite the challenges they faced, many harem women showed remarkable resilience, finding meaning in motherhood. Despite constraints, harem women exercised agency, choosing alliances, pursuing education, building patronage. Consider the theological implications of Ibn Arabi's concept of wahd.
It suggests a unity beyond our conventional understanding.
The resistance took many forms: coded language, strategic use of religion, and building into...
The Sultan requests the dismissal of the treasurer, Your Highness.
Tell my son that my charities will cease their payments if he persists. I will not allow it.
Western fantasies of the harem as an erotic prison obscured the reality of political power, and these stereotypes persist in popular culture today.
And action!
This translation is quite challenging.
Popular culture continues to erase the political agency of these women, reducing them merely to sexual objects or romantic figures.
Recent feminist scholarship has begun recovering harem women's stories and challenging Orientalist narratives, but much work remains in public consciousness. While powerful court women existed across many societies, the Ottoman women were particularly successful in institutional... Islamic law actually granted women significant property rights, inheritance rights, and legal personhood. By examining the lives of Ottoman harem women, we challenge both Western stereotypes and conservative interpretations.
Buradaki güç ve zarafet inanılmaz. Kesinlikle, ama dışarıdaki o basma kalıp düşünceler çok sinir bozucu. Haklısın, yine de bu bizim tarihimiz ve onunla gurur duyuyoruz.
Harem women exercised real power, yet faced real constraints as both agents and victims. Recovering harem women's stories matters because it challenges stereotypes, complicates narratives of Muslim women. This history is now incorporated into school curricula, museum exhibits, and academic programs.
It is truly remarkable. Visitors can now walk through the very spaces where Ottoman history was made.
The plaques say the Valide Sultan wielded significant power here.
More influence than the Sultan himself at times.
Despite scholarly progress, popular stereotypes remain deeply entrenched, with film, literature, and casual discourse.
What can we learn from Ottoman harem women's stories for understanding women's power, Islamic history, and political agency? We've traced the full arc of their political power, from its rise through significant constraints to its eventual decline.
The final chapter addresses the legacy, including how harem women's political power shaped Ottoman history and we conclude by examining the lasting legacy of Ottoman harem women's political power. Ottoman chroniclers themselves acknowledged harem women's political roles as not hidden in history. Harem women played decisive roles in succession settlements, treaty negotiations, architectural projects.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah.
Harem women's patronage profoundly shaped Ottoman urban development, establishing foundations and infrastructure that structured city life for centuries. We see a clear timeline of precedents: the Valide Sultan as regent, control of charitable foundations and
Osmanlı kadınlarının hamiliğini sürdürüyoruz. Bir bol yardımcısı oldu. Evet, toplum inşası için stratejik hayırseverlik kullanıyoruz.
The strategies of harem women teach us that power relies on networks, information, patronage.
This history offers lessons for understanding how women and other marginalized groups exercise agency and power. Recovering harem women's agency challenges Orientalist stereotypes of Muslim women as passive victims. Recovering this history challenges monolithic narratives about Islam and women. It demonstrates their political and reclaims. We must consider the avenues of power available to them beyond the Sultan. But that ignores the coercive nature of the institution.
Recovering the stories of the harem women has transformed Ottoman historiography, shifting our focus from the sultans to recognizing the harem itself as a political institution.
The shift is clear, moving away from fantasy to historically accurate depictions. We now...
The geometric patterns here are unique to this period.
Yes.
And the archive suggests Sinan...
We must acknowledge the limitations, that much remains unknown. The archives are incomplete, and many stories are lost.
We are still exploring several key questions, including the experiences of children. This is women's history, recovering female agency. But we must analyze the complexity. Harem women, we must apply an intersectional analysis. The experiences of women varied by rank and ethnicity. Celebrating the power of elite harem women should not erase the experiences of slaves, servants.
We must acknowledge the painful reality that most of these women were enslaved, even began as slaves.
We must acknowledge harem women's agency and achievements, while also recognizing the structural violence.
We must consider the nuance of their power, not just the oppression.
I agree, but the constraints were very real.
The story of Ottoman harem women teaches history is complex. Women exercised agency. In a world still shaped by stereotypes about Muslim women, recovering harem women's full sophistication.
The achievements of the past guide our present. We are the leaders, the scholars, the innovators.
The arc is complete. We move past the myths, through the political reality, and found the contemporary relevance at last.
Studying these women's lives has been humbling and inspiring. Their strategies and achievements deserve to be remembered and honored as part of human history.
Let us remember these women who challenge the stereotypes of their time and seek the complex truth of their history.
The endowment records are clear.
This craftsmanship has been preserved for centuries.